Guys, I'm coming back at you with the updated list I did put of Cyber Angels. I did put in the description of that list that I hadn't got everything in, and that there were the proxies that I was using. But now that I do have everything in, I thought I would remake it, because I wasn't really happy with the actual video itself, so I'm remaking it. There is an extra deck, it's just here, I'm just not putting it in shot for now. It's not changed much, I just really didn't like having proxies in the deck, and yeah. So for the Cyber Angels, we run 2 Cyber Angel Dakini. Easily one of the greatest boss monsters like I've seen for a little while. For the fact that it forces your opponent to send one card from one monster from their field to the grave. So this is really good against some of those Protect the Castle decks where they only rush out one card and then nothing else, and then they try and just like have a setup, So this is really useful against those, because especially against Cosmo as well, because it's non-targeting removal that doesn't destroy, which is really good, because even though they've sort of gone down to 1.5, I think, every tier 1.5, I think everybody's saying, this just proves to make them a little bit more viable against them, I guess. That's the best way to say it. So, next up we run 3 copies of Cyber Angel Ben 10. Our Stratos of the deck, you could say. It's quite strong. It's very strong, honestly. Easily the best card of the deck, to be honest. Obviously, you get 1 Light Fairy if it's tributed, and it's not once per turn, so you could literally use all 3 of these in a turn, and it's ridiculous. So, yep. Then, for the last Cyber Angel, we play Cyber Angel Ida 10. Ida 10 is makes everything into a beat stick. It makes every single one of your rituals into a huge beat stick. Even Herald, because Herald will become 28 because it gives them 1,000, which is really good. And when you ritual summon it, it adds a ritual card, ritual spell card to the hand, or graveyard to the hand. So comboing it with Ben 10 means that if you tribute this for this, you're getting another instant ritual, which is really good. And that's why I really do like this at 2. Some people are playing it at 1. I don't agree with that, because this is a combo piece as well as being something just to tribute off. This is a card that you will need if you don't have a play, really. If you have like something to tribute, then like opening these 2 and another piece of tribute fodder just means that you can get off something quite big. So yep, that's 2 Ida 10. Just off screen, I'm just setting them out separately just in case I have something to say about them with other cards. So for the normal rituals, we do run the standard Herald of Perfection, obviously, and then Saphira, Queen of Dragons. Your Herald is obviously this card that you sort of sit on and hope you don't get kaiju'd, and then Saphira is actually the card that you just sort of, I guess, it's the card you use when you combo, really. You leave this on field and you recur stuff from the grave. It's the thing that you want to end a combo with on field after you've done that, just so that you can loop your cards. Because a field ending with Saphira and Dakini is just constant recursion. These 2 cards together just constantly refill your hand, which is really quite strong. And obviously it's essentially like a better Dark World dealing at the end phase, which is actually quite nice for both stocking your grave and stocking your hand. So then for the normal sort of search cards, we do run the 3 Manju and 1 Cyber Petite Angel, because Cyber Petite Angel just more search power. Not really much else to say about that. Then we do run the obligatory sort of Star Seraph engine, because the Star Seraph engine is just too strong. I will just add the sovereignties as well. This engine, while at first it may seem quite bricky, is really strong, because you can search for it with Ben 10. You can search for each of these. So if you've got a scepter in hand and you've got a Ben 10 play, tribute off the Ben 10, search what else you need. If you've got your normal summon for the turn, even better, because then you can do the combo. So there's no reason why you shouldn't run these. Then, just for the sort of miscellaneous sort of fairies, I do run the sorry, the Honests. I did only run 1 in my previous build, I do believe, but I felt that it was a bit better than the 2 copies of Christia that I did play, so I'm only running the 1 Christia and the 2 Honest after watching Lintheo's video on it, so yep. And again, there's just loads of sort of recursion in the deck. So then for the spells, we run 3 Ritual Sanctuary, which is another recursion card, believe it or not. Essentially, if you shuffle back all of your, like, say, 4 of your spell cards in your graveyard, you could summon, let's say, a Scepter. Activate the Scepter's effect to go off. Or if you do 8, you could lock your opponent out with a Christia. Or if you really need the damage, you can recover yourself an Honest and bounce it to the hand. It's got so many interactions, and obviously, because we're running field spells, we do run the double terraforming. Excuse my mismatched cards. These should be Pharaoh Servant or Astral Pack sometime soon. So yeah. Excellent cards. These together, obviously also this one, if you have mismatching ritual cards, then you can use these to take away the ritual cards to make it into the ritual card that you need. So say you've got a Dawn of the Herald, but you've got a Sephira in hand, activate this, ditch the Dawn of the Herald for the Hymn of Light, go off. So it's a problem solver card. It solves the issue that most people have with ritual decks in general. And ritual decks that run multiple different cards. It's also the card that you use to mainly search, apart from, for your Cyber Angels, apart from your monsters that search, Manju and Petite Angel. Then we run the 3 pre-preparational rites, and then 1 preparational rites. This one can search Cyber Angels, these 2 can't. These can only search these, so just be mindful when you do have this in hand, but still, they're really strong. Although this one can't search your Dakini, so obviously because it's level 7 or lower, so again, be mindful of that. And then finally, for the actual ritual spell cards, we are running, obviously, Triple Machine Angel Ritual. Such a strong card, especially if you need to discard it off of Ritual Sanctuary. That's it, because it's got the engrave effect of any light type monsters that I control would be destroyed by battle card effect. You can banish the card instead. So it's a stronger Hymn of Light. Speaking of Hymn of Light, we run 2 of it, obviously, and then we do run 2 of the Dawn of the Herald. Again, this one adds back to hand, so your Ben 10 plays are stronger, your Ida 10 plays can make ridiculous big beat sticks, you know, all of that kind of stuff. It's just really good. Sort of looking back over my spell lineup though, I do want to be running possibly a Upstart Goblin and maybe a 1-day piece, but I just can't find the room at the moment. I'm looking at what I could drop and what I could keep, but I'm really not quite sure at the moment. With the current state of these sort of cards, part of me looks towards ditching the 2 Dakini, but I really don't know. I did praise this card a lot, but it can clog a little bit, so I'm not too sure. But that's all of the spell cards and all of the main deck. So we're going to go on to the extra deck now. I've sort of put these into sort of an order. So first of all, we do have our Star Seraph targets, being Masquerade, Ouroboros, and Deltaros, because they're just all strong cards. When you're going into rank 4s, this is probably the most you're going to go into, because these are the cards you're going to go into most, because you will be doing the Star Seraph combos more than you will be doing normal plays. Losing the Spirit Engine, losing that Nikitama extra normal summon sort of Castor play, meant that you're more likely going to go into these than you're going into normal rank 4s. Then we got a bit of negation, sort of in the form of Starleash Paladynamo and Abyss Dweller. Obviously for spot negation and graveyard negation. Obviously this card is so strong against cards like decks like BA and Cosmo, because you know they float, so this stops them from floating. And I've just had a battery low. Then for sort of spot removal, we have Castel and 101. These are standard. Like, it's kind of best to run one of each rather than two of one of them. So just so that you have options, like this one just for staying power, this one just for like stopping indefinite graveyard effects, because you know this can trigger I don't know, can trigger just stuff. Then we got one beat stick being Dark Rebellion, XYZ Dragon, obviously. Then we have the final rank 4, which is Emerald, just for if we don't have a way to put back our monsters into the deck, then we can use this. So yeah. Then for rank 6s, we got one Utopia the Beyond, because beating over stuff is excellent. One Ptolemy M7, because obviously this is also a recycle card as well. Pardon me. And it also bounces your opponent's stuff, so yep. Then we play the Photon Strike Bouncer, just for added negation if you don't have any fairies in hand but you've got a rank 6 play. This is the way to go. And finally, for the last rank 6, we played the newly released Dragulus the Vampiric Dragon. Still should have been called Nosferatu Dragon. But if you don't know what this does, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can reset it, and if it's flip face up, it's non-targeting removal, because it sends one card from the field to the grave. And if your opponent has a monster special summoned from the extra deck, you can flip that face down by detaching, which is really quite strong. And then in the off chance that you do get 2 8s on the field, you've got a Cypher Dragon for stealing their stuff, and then if their stuff is an XYZ, put a full armor Photon Dragon over it. Right, so that's the end of the profile. Sort of as a conclusion, I've got loads of people telling me this deck is either really good or really bad. I believe this deck is pretty good. I don't think it's top tier shit, but we don't know what the next set's going to sort of give us to make any of this better. We might get something nice in the extra deck, we might get some cool main deck stuff. But apart from that, I do hope you enjoyed. I'm really happy to actually have everything for the deck. So hopefully you appreciate that re-upload. And I will catch you guys in the next video. I'll try to do a Herald of Perfection pure Herald build. It will probably be a bit more inspired by Olinthio's version, because I am not too sure how to actually build it. But I do have the 3rd Herald and the 3rd Saphira, so that's pretty useful. So I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I do hope you enjoyed, so I'll see you.